Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pro Saw workshop again. Got an interesting one this afternoon. Very interesting for me actually, because I don't know, I haven't seen anybody else that's pulled one down yet. That's what we're on to this afternoon. Now this one came to me. These are the old cases that have been hit by a tree on its side. It's broken the case piece out of the case there, snapped one of the wings off the case there, split through there. It was still running, but the bloke that owns it, the customer that owns it, is a commercial woodcutter, and he needed it back and he wanted it right. It's even snapped a little guard off there for the oil filler. So there's a number of interesting things with these 500s that probably I haven't seen anybody cover. So these are the new cases. I've assembled these this afternoon with new bearings, new seals about to go in. The existing crankshaft was fine, genuine bearings and gaskets. So that's that. The rear handle and tank. So down here you've got a combined coil and ECU for the engine control, your stop switch and your primer there. Now you've got two lines coming out of that, which are these ones here. So you've actually got a pressure and a return line, because as we all know it's fuel injected, and the impulse line, which obviously goes to the crankcase. So this is the injection module. Prior to that, you actually got the throttle body, which is, there's no electronics or anything in that. Just a very simple butterfly valve. So your pressure line, return line, and if you can zoom in on that, right up in that top corner there, top of the inlet tract, that's actually the fuel injector. Interestingly enough, and I didn't know they had one, that's got a crank angle sensor. So there's a window there in the side of the crankcase, and if you can see that as the crank's turning, it's going past that little window, so that will live in there like that once it's all bolted up. Power coil, which anything with M-Tronic, Husky's Auto Tune, they've all got a power coil which they need to run. Basically this stuff runs on electricity, it doesn't run on magic. So the flywheel goes over the top of that. The flywheel spins on the outside of that, creates an electrical current, that goes through there, powers the ECU. What I think a lot of people have been having problems with starting, and this goes for the Husqvarna stuff as well. When you finish cutting, or when you start them up, let them sit there and idle for 30 seconds. Let them sort of get their bearings. If you've been cutting with, for a half an hour, flat out, don't just shut them off. Let them idle down, because as soon as you stop them, as soon as you hit that stop switch, there's no power to the ECU. So the last thing the ECU remembers was, I was at full speed, full open throttle, we were cutting wood. So when you go and start it, the ECU still thinks it's like that, because it doesn't have any power to reset itself, and it still thinks it's wide open throttle, and therefore it floods. And that's why there's been a lot of flooding problems with them. Let them idle down to, for 20 or 30 seconds. It doesn't take long. Shut them off and you won't have any problems restarting them. This is the piston out of it. Now when I took the exhaust off, I wasn't overly concerned with that. You can't pick that up with a nail. It's more sort of discoloration than anything. But this is the inlet side, and it's actually damaged that quite badly. The filter and everything was intact. It was fine. It's the original filter. It's been kept clean. I'm putting this down to cold seas when it hasn't been let to warm up properly before it's been used to cut. So I'll be having a chat with the owner and just sort of giving him the heads up on that. You do need to let them warm up. Luckily, it's only very minor, alloy deposits on the cylinder there, so that'll come up fine with a clean and hone. A little bit more carbon than I'd like to see in the top of it with being fuel injected, but I also thought the exhaust port would be small, larger. It's quite small for like these things really go. Like I've used one, they go like rockets. Just thought it would have had a bigger exhaust in it than that. But anyway, that's the 500 Ollie. I just got to wait for the piston for it now, and I'll get it buttoned up and back to its owner. And I hope that's been interesting and given you a bit of an idea on how the 500i works. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you all soon.